Hi, my name is Erica Reyes. I'm a peer specialist for San Francisco Community Health Center. I'm 52 years old.
Hi, my name is Mel Baldos. I'm 21, a caregiver in San Francisco. I'm sorry. I kind of blacked out. I'm super nervous. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. My drag mother, she kidnapped me and my friend Jasmine and took us to San Jose and started force feeding us hormones and giving us hormone shots every 2 weeks. And then I came back to San Francisco, in 6 months, and my friends were all like, "Whoa, what did you do? What have you been doing?" I said, "Oh, I've been taking hormones." And it went on from there, and then it just kind of trickled down, and then all my other girlfriends started doing it, and then it was just like a big community of us. I mean, there was a small group of us in the Tenderloin. There was a small group of Asian girls that were in the Tenderloin. I mean, of course, it was sex work. That's what we were doing back then. Those were my role models, were the beautiful sex workers that were making the most money. Those were the ones that I was drawn to. But I mean, it's changed now. I mean, we have trans people that are in really, high profile type of jobs where they're visible and everything. And so it's kind of evolved. I mean, and I'm so happy that, I've been a part of that, the evolving of just being trans in San Francisco.
I think that's wonderful because you've been around a lot of trans folks.
Yes.
With me, in my case,
Yes.
we've had family friends who are trans women, but
Yes.
as a kid, I was afraid of them. Not because there was something wrong about them, but it was more of like, I'm afraid that they'll know
Yeah.
that at an early age, being raised up Catholic in a Catholic environment,
Yeah.
feels like I would be fished out,
Yes.
and I would be like exposed, and I'm afraid of my family knowing.
Yes.
So as early as 6, I kind of had an idea that I was different.
I did black market hormones till I was 18. So there was people that used to sell them in the Tenderloin. And then when I finally got a doctor when I was 18, I was taking, I'm surprised that I'm still alive right now, or my liver didn't give out, because I was taking 4 different types of hormones. And then doing hormone shots every 2 weeks. And I did that for many years till I was about 24, 25, which is not a suggested thing. And it's not a wise thing, but I was taking them like Tic Tacs. I mean, I would carry them in my purse. I'm not feeling fishy, and I'd take some, and Lord knows, I didn't get sick from it, but I think now, it's like the hormones that I used to take, they don't even exist anymore because they were too strong. And it's changed now. Now I don't do pills anymore. I just do hormone shots every 2 weeks. That's good for me. I'm happy with that. I used to take them, like Tic Tacs. Just crazy. And you bought them black market. I used to buy Mexican hormones, the injectables, or then I would do the ones that you get from the doctor here. I do all different kinds. German hormones, German hormone shots. I used to do them all, because I thought, it's really weird, okay? With the whole hormone thing, it's like, in my younger years, I thought I needed to take that to stay fishy, you know what I mean? And it's really a psychological thing. If you've been taking hormones, it doesn't matter if it's pills or injections or you're doing hormone patches. If you're doing it on a regular basis, if you bombard your body with more, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make you any softer. It's all it's really psychological. And I know, because I was like, nobody could hang out with me for no longer than an hour, because I was just I was so pickled. I was crazy. And I was crazy. Pretty much an emotional wreck all the time, would cry at commercials or, be irritated, 1 minute. And this went on all day long, you know what I mean? Just so fascinated with my reflection all the time, walking in the street, it was just, I got super, it was off the chain, you know what I mean? It's like, and so when I turned 25, I started to slack down, you know what I mean? And so and was only taking 2 kind of hormones and doing hormone shots. And then I took a year off from it, and then kind of gradually introduced it again and was just doing like shots every 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, my liver did not like, because I used to take a lot of hormones in my younger years, but I've thought that's what I needed to do.
So in my own experience, I never really been into. I've been considering HRT. So, but I knew trans girls back home who would get their shots from Thailand. So they would travel to Thailand and get collagen shots, glutathione, get their to make their skin more softer. That's how I was introduced to
35. Used to take those too.
That's how I got introduced to hormones. I was,
Yeah.
and in that age, I kind of maybe not. I'm scared because my mom would notice she's got boobs now.
I mean, what I know now is if you're gonna start hormone therapy, it's good to do it through a doctor. So you go for your checkups, and they can check your your levels and everything. Make sure that everything is working out okay. I mean, as many years as I was taking black market hormones, it's kind of when I think about it, you're crazy. You know what I mean? That was crazy. You know what I mean? But I made it through that, so I mean, fortunately, thank God. And I mean, I go to a doctor now, and I get checked up every, your periodic checkup, and everything is working fine, thank goodness. But I wouldn't suggest that to anybody to take black market hormones and bombard yourself with going from not taking them to all of a sudden you're doing I knew girls that used to do hormone shots once a week and take pills and everything. It's not advised. It's not a good.
Yes, go check a professional.
Yes, exactly. Being that I am sober now, I mean, I had a 35-year run of drugs, alcohol, and sex work. I mean, I retired when I was 50 years old. So, the whole thing around substance abuse, I mean, it's a lot of the girls get caught up in sex work, survival sex work. And once you get caught up in that, I mean, you can start off as a sober person and do sex work. Don't get me wrong. But as you go along, you're going to come into a lot of clients that want to party. And if you don't party, they won't want to date you. And so if you're in that position where you're trying to survive, you're trying to make money to keep this up, because I mean it's expensive. You know what I mean? There's manicures, and your hair, your makeup, clothes. I mean, that all costs money. And if you're a young person, huh?
The trans tax.
Trans what?
The trans tax.
What? Oh, trans tax. And so I mean, to keep all that up, that's why I think a lot of the girls get caught up in that, because unless you got a trust fund and you got it like that, which not very many of us do, you're gonna get caught up in that circle, and it's a vicious cycle, because you could be a sober person and once you start doing sex work, you're gonna get caught up in the drugs. They go hand in hand. I mean, I was a meth addict for, a long time, okay? And I did meth, originally was to stay slim, you know what I mean? Keep my weight down, and so I look fabulous. And then as it went along, so I can stay up so I don't miss appointments, you know what I mean? It's sex work in San Francisco has evolved. When I started, I was a street walker, okay? And then from a street walker, it evolved into having an ad on, oh my God, what is that? It's The Spectator. It was a paper, okay? Then from The Spectator, it evolved onto online. So I went through 3 periods of sex work. And each are different. But when once it moved on to where everything was online, you have to be on all the time. You can't miss a call. Your regular client that comes in from New York only once a month. If you're sleeping and he calls, he's gonna call another girl. So, of course, that's why I started doing meth all the time, just so I could stay up at 3-4 periods, 3 to 4 days at a time, so I didn't miss any appointments. I mean, I was really good about my business. I mean, I lasted a long time. I had a code, but the substance abuse, I mean, that goes with it if you're caught up in the sex work. And then eventually, after you've been doing drugs for many years, then the mental health comes in. Because then you have like trauma, you have like situations that happen with clients that, things just go, sideways. And those experiences stay with you, you know what I mean? And then eventually, now you have mental health too on top of a substance abuse. And then, then it's like, yeah, it's hard, I think, and I mean, I'm happy the job that I have now. I mean, I get to work with girls, you know what I mean? And just kind of, meet with them one-on-one and just catch up with them. Because, I mean, as corny as the line is, the struggle is real. The struggle is so real.
That's true. I never really realized that how hard it was to transition.
Yeah.
Up until people started to treat me like a second-class citizen.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, women go through this all this fucking time. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
all the time, like,
Yes.
Because when I go to a restaurant and I'm, like, with a guy, like, dating, they never ask me, like, they never bother to ask me. They always ask the guy, and like it feels like the guy is like paying for my meal. It threatens me, so I
Yes.
have to like, you know what? I'm paying the bill. It feels like I'm paying the bill, and I don't like it when when a guy. I mean, it's cute,
Yeah.
but it's 2019. We have to be a little bit progressive.
Yes.
But then that's when it all sank. It's when it all dawned on me. Because I transitioned from male to like to the female side.
Yes.
For lack of a better term. I noticed little things like like people don't listen to me or they don't take me seriously, like like they treat you like it's just like these little microaggressions.
Yes.
I would call it.
Yes.
That women face. Like I now have to face too. I'm like, okay, so I did have my male privileges with me before I transitioned, and now it's like, shit is real. Like
It's a process.
It's
a process.
real.
It's really a process.
Yeah.
But it gets better. I can promise you that. I'm a living testament. It gets better. I mean, you're gonna always run into those situations where, people that just aren't educated or are just narrow-minded. I mean, it's everywhere. You can't avoid it. But I mean, it does get better. You know what I mean? And I mean, you're living your truth. That's what matters. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you're here for yourself. You know what I mean? And for me, I mean, where I'm at in my life is, what I leave, the imprint that I leave if I were to die the next day is what's really important to me. You know what I mean? I want to leave something, a memory
Legacy.
of myself. Yeah, a legacy of something where people can remember me for something more than what I used to do. So that's pretty much where my focus is in my life
And
right
that's
now.
wonderful.
Thank you.
It feels like you would have to be a little bit of a mother to do that. Yeah.
I kind of have that kind of quality, yeah.
Very motherly.
But yeah, I mean, it's just if I can inspire someone, before making those decisions that I made when I was young, to try something different. Because I mean, these days we have opportunities. You know what I mean? You just have to put your first foot forward, and you can do it. You can actually really do anything you want to do. You just have to set your mind to it. You can't listen to all that, all that static behind you or people talking to you that are trying to talk you out of doing it, and just do it. You know what I mean? And you can do it. You can really, these days you can really do anything you set your mind to. There's nothing that we can't do.